If I have something with you, okay, and it's time for us to divide and share, then you're taking 90% and you're giving me 10%. That's what has led to Biafra. Injustice in Nigeria, in the Nigerian system. And that injustice was not only against the Igbos. There are also other smaller tribes, okay, that also suffered as a result of that. My father lived in Aba, okay? He was a businessman, a trader. He worked in John Holt. Because of Biafra, the man lost his earnings. He lost everything that he had, his property, everything. So he had to start from the scratch. So you need to understand, Biafra from the generation of my father, I was born during the war. And okay, let me give you a personal example why Biafra is in the heart of the average Igbo person. I was born at the Ekulobe General Hospital. Ekulobe is in Anambra State. My mother tells me the story that she was taken to the hospital by her own mom. And in the middle of the night, fighter jets started bombing. And everybody in the hospital ran away. It was just my mom and her mom and myself inside her tummy. As she said at midnight, without any aid, no help, I popped out. That was why she named me Uche Nworah. That means, let the wish of God happen. My mom said they thought they were going to die because they were bombing. They were hearing bombs all over the place. Now, when you hear stories like that, of how you were almost killed at birth, or what your parents went through, you cannot tell me that in your heart you will not be feeling sympathy for the people that have been, that people have been oppressed. So that's the story of Biafra. Now, that's one thing. Then the second thing is, have things changed in this country? Have things changed in Nigeria? Are we still not seeing injustice? Are we seeing fairness? Are we still not seeing oppression in this country that we live in? So that's why you will see, it will appear, and it will seem as if Biafra is still a recurring decimal. However, there are those genuinely asking that things should turn around for the better. But there are now criminal elements that are exploiting that issue. They are the ones that are now doing killings, kidnapping, and all that. So we need to dimension the issues. That's number one. Number two, how do we unite ourselves in Nigeria? I work for a Yoruba man. I'm an Igbo man. There's a man called Otumba Michael Adenoga. He owns Globacom. Right? I was a GM in his system as an Igbo man, and he gave me a trusted role where the budget that I was commanding in a year, was humongous. As an Igbo man, I was on one-on-one with him. I left Globacom system last year, June, as an Igbo man. Very privileged position. So, how can I not? I wouldn't say that I'm the right person to talk about discrimination, because I haven't had people discriminate against me. Using the Globacom example. However, I see discrimination all around me. For example, I'll tell you what has happened. Last year in January, last year in the heat of the election, a friend of mine that owns a restaurant in Lekki, the tax people came there and shut down the restaurant on a Friday. Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays are their best days. You know what the guys said? The guys brought a tax bill of 100 million naira. 100 million naira. And slammed it on them. And went away that weekend. So, first of all, they couldn't do business that weekend. And you know what the tax people were saying when they were leaving? Is in other place where Igbo people park big cars and talk about obedient. Okay? So when they shut down the restaurant, the guy reached out to me. What do we do? That we should start making calls. Because the guy felt I knew some people. So we started making calls. Finally, by Monday, we were able to, speak to some people, and they brought down the bill to 20 million. However, now you could see that's injustice. There are 1 million restaurants in Lekki. Why shut down this particular restaurant with the comment that is it not the same place where Igbo people gather and do obedience and park big cars? So that's injustice, my brother. So what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, we are all interlinked, we are all interconnected. And I think we have to do the judgment based on the people that we relate with. I've told you how a Yoruba man has been kind to me. How he was nice to me and everything in my career. For 8 years, I was in his system, in the Globacom system. Okay? I've also told you how a friend of mine, how his business was shut down by a Yoruba person. But that's not, because of that, I will not go and make a judgment and say Yoruba people hate Igbo people. Because personally, I've experienced kindness from a Yoruba man. So, it's subjective how we make that judgment. That's all.